appreciate you guys taking the time to cover App State football, and really excited to get back on the field and do what we love to do. And our kids are very excited for the season, and we're doing everything with precaution and following the orders from Appalachian State and with Hall County Health Department. And we're ready to get the season started and see what the 2020 season has to offer.
All right, we'll start with Ethan Joyce.
Hey, Shawn. We haven't really got to chat with you since the shutdown of practice, and you guys have restarted since then. But what was it like just kind of dealing with that whole situation, maybe the connotation that comes with a COVID association with the football program, and it shuts everything down?
Well, again, we have a very experienced football team, and I say this all the time. I can't be more proud of how they handle adversity, and this is a bump in the road. And we say this all the time. There's no excuses at Appalachian State football, no matter what it might be in the COVID or whatever it may be in society, that this program is built. It's built on solid rock, and we're able to go back to practice. Our players were excited, and we've been there for the last 3 days, and we've been getting better and better every day.
I know it mentioned in the release when they sent it out that adjustments that had been made, but can you just kind of go into, I guess, maybe the care or even more care that's being put into everything now that that's happened?
Well, we are following protocol from Appalachian State University and the Watauga Health Department. But again, I can't say enough of what John Mitchell and Zach Parker and our administration does to make sure every player we have is safe and do it the right way. And being a dad, if it was my son, I want to make sure the head coach had the best interest of his players, and that's what we do here. I'm very honest with our players. They know where we stand, and I think they believe in the mission we're selling right here.
Last one for me. Just as far, we're all kind of trying to keep normal life going and keep careful at the same time. And I just wonder if there's been any conversations that have come up, especially now that the season is approaching, where, I guess maybe guys are realizing how difficult or how much more goes into making normal as real as a possibility as possible. What's that been like as things have gotten closer?
It's been great. Our players are taking it in stride, and we're wearing masks and we're social distancing, and it's different. I told those guys on a Saturday we had a scrimmage, and I told those guys, I said, listen, it's day by day, minute by minute, and don't be surprised of what to expect. And I said, whatever it is, we have to own it and do a great job handling our business. And we talk all the time. We're not sure what it's going to look like, but we're prepared to kick off September 12th. And our players are excited about it for a great rivalry in Charlotte, and that's what we're working for.
All right, we'll go with David Ware next, and then JB will get you after that.
Shawn, let's actually talk some football at this point. You had a scrimmage on Saturday. I know that there's a lot of competitiveness between offensive and defensive units. As you've been able to go live 11 on 11, kind of full tilt. Give us the tally. Who do you feel like is getting the better of who, or has it been pretty back and forth at this point?
It was split down the middle on Saturday. I was very impressed with our defense early. We put the ball down the 3-yard line. The defense shut us out 3 drives in a row. We backed it back up to the 9, and they shut us out the first 2, and we scored on offense. And then the offense got into a rhythm, and Zach really showed his leadership. And I think we have a great stable of running backs, and we have a very experienced offensive line. And when push comes to shove, we put the ball in those backs' hands and told the line, let's go make it happen. And anytime you have a great offensive line with a great quarterback in Zach, and I truly believe he's one of the best in the country and in our conference. And our receivers have been doing excellent this fall camp. I mean, the Thomas Hennigan's in the world, and the Jalen Virgils, Malik Williams, and we have another standout freshman in Christian Horn who's really caught our eyes, and he'll be in the mix, and he's fighting for a starting spot right now.
When it comes to, you've got a veteran team, and I know that every day is competition for every spot with you guys, but you've got some veterans. You kind of know where those guys are and that they're probably going to be there for the long haul. Are there some specific positions, though, where you've maybe had someone graduate out and you've got some really good competition going on between, 2 or 3 guys that are going to determine who's going to end up taking the primary snaps in those spots?
Yes and no. It goes back and forth. Our secondary is very experienced. I think both our corners have had a great camp, and Shawn Jolly and Shamar Jean Charles. And I've been very impressed with Cato this fall camp. He has made some plays, and he's really taken his game to another level. And when I say that, he's the guy who's making calls. He's very communicative to the defense. He sets our defense, and he's making a lot of plays. Those are the guys that really stand out so far. I think our linebackers have played excellent. DeMarco Jackson has played great, and one guy, TD Roof, has made a lot of plays in camp, and he'll be he'll be working for a starting spot. If he's not a starter, he'll play a third of the game at least, and he's a guy that's really caught my eye so far.
When it comes to, nothing's normal right now, obviously, and then you had kind of this stop and start. Every team is different, but when you're at the point where you are right now in camp, and you think back to where you've been in past years and your experience, do you feel like you're pretty much on schedule with where you would want to be, with where the team is performing, working special teams into things, kind of the whole picture?
I do. I think we're maybe a little bit ahead of schedule. The latter part of the summer, the NCAA let us have 20 hours a week with our players. So we're able to install and get a walkthrough. We stole another 8 practices basically through before camp started. So I think we're right on track, if not further ahead. And most of our offense, our base offense, base defense is in, and we're just doing situational offense and defense right now. Today we had a 4-minute offense followed by a 2-minute offense, and those guys have did a great job today. So I think we're right on point, and just ready to get working on Charlotte here next week.
Okay, JB Ricks, Spectrum News.
Hey, Coach, thanks for taking out the time. Good to see you again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just got one question for you. The preseason accolades came out today from the Sun Belt, and you guys have a load of talent that you're going to be able to work with. Obviously, you spoke on Zach Thomas already, but specifically when it comes to you, how exciting is it for you to have this amount of talent to work with and a team that's kind of already put together and it's already in motion for your first year as the head coach with the team?
I'm very excited. Again, the first-year head coach and have this much talent around that's played a lot of football. Zach Thomas this will be a 3-year starter. Most of our offensive line has been a 3 or 4-year starter. Noah Hanna started every snap since he's been here, and he's really a field general for us on offense. And we have a lot of team speed on defense. And it's evident when you watch the tape. We have our little devices on our chest to tell the speed of our players, how much they run during a certain practice. And Shawn Jolly's a guy, Shamar Sherm, he was a play where he got beat deep Saturday, and he falls down and gets back up, and he's running 21.7 miles per hour to the ball. And that's a lot of team speed. And again, we're excited. Our players are eager to get started and to get back to some kind of normalcy. And I do believe on September 12th, when we kick off, that it means that we're fighting this virus and we're going in the positive direction.
Coach, I lied. I do have a follow-up question for you. How do you feel about your comfort level as the head coach compared to when you had to take over for the bowl game last year? Where are you at with your comfort level now compared to then?
I feel very good. I think I'm very prepared for this opportunity. When the bowl game happened, I didn't know if it was up, down, or where I was going. I was trying to hire staff and our players to stay focused, and we've had a year now or 6 months to put my stamp on things in this program. But the fortunate part for me is this program for the last 30 years has been basically the same program since Coach Moore and Satterfield and Drink came in for a year. But this program is built to last, and I'm just tickled to death I'm the man in charge.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good seeing you again.
Thank you, bud.
Okay, next question from Eddie Hughes, Spectrum News.
Hey, Coach, thanks for your time. I kind of want to follow up on JB's questions. Is there any pressure on you? Do you feel any pressure to repeat, continue that winning tradition at App State to win another Sun Belt with all the accolades that are coming in with the preseason?
Well, I don't think so. This is 20 years of coaching for myself, and we have a saying around here in Boone that you don't feel pressure, you apply pressure. And that's how I feel as a head coach, that We're going to play a very aggressive style of offense and defense, and let the cards fall where they fall. But this is something I've been preparing for my whole life, and this is my opportunity and put my stamp on this program.
Coach, to follow up, how has practice been like a kind of a sanctuary, would you say, for these players and for yourself with everything that's going on, just to get out there and try to get back to some normalcy?
It is. I told them in our team meeting Saturday as well. So this is our sanctuary. For 2 hours a day, nothing matters but that locker room and this team. And that's the rewarding part with everything going on in society and wherever you want to say, the virus. For 2 hours, the guys in that locker room, and if anyone spent time in a college football locker room, they would understand that nothing else matters. Those guys love each other, and they have each other's backs through thick and thin. And we're a family. We have issues like everybody else. But when it comes to have each other's back and prepare, our guys are excellent at that. And that's why I love this team so much, because nothing matters except the team. And we have one of our core values is the other 10. So no matter what you're doing, you're playing for the other 10. And that's what I'm so excited about.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, bud.
Okay, we'll go back to one more from David Ware.
Shawn, amidst all the uncertainty that has been going on, obviously you got a new non-conference schedule put into place. And, I just wonder if you would kind of give us some comments on how that came together, your review of the opponents you've got. Obviously, you mentioned Charlotte as a rival. Marshall's a great rival, depending on how old you might be. Give us a little assessment of how you feel about the non-conference schedule that was rebuilt.
Without a question. And first, I want to give a lot of kudos to Doug Gillen and his staff. They worked, I'm not kidding you, for 6 months or whatever it may be to get a schedule together. Not 6 months, 6 weeks. And we could not find games. And I know Will Healy very well, and we had some conversations. And I think anytime you can play regionally, it is great for college football. And that Charlotte game, in my opinion, should be played every single year, because a lot of our alumni base is in Charlotte, and Will Healy has that program in the right direction. And they're a very talented football team, and he's a damn good football coach. And I think that could be a great rivalry for us, for both schools. And then you throw in Marshall. Again, that's an old Southern Conference rivalry, and it's something I have fond memories of. When I was here, it was either Appalachian State or Marshall win the conference. And to get a chance to go back to Huntington to live some old dreams. I remember it was left hash 19 G-load. Scott Satterfield rolls out. I cut the end. We scored a touchdown to win 10-3. I remember they're playing Thunderstruck coming down the ramp. So me personally, I'm excited about that. I mean, I think it's great for us. And we're going to play 4 games here the next 6 years. I think it's great for football. I think it's great for everybody. Our fans will travel very well to Huntington. Their fans will travel very well to Boone. And I think that's the way it should be.
Okay, next question is Kenneth Reese, Watauga Online.
David literally stole my question. He was able to sneak that in there before
Well,
I was.
ask it again. It's a different way. How about that?
Well, I'll ask you this, Coach. You talked about how you feel about being able to fill in the lost games for Wisconsin and Wake. What about for the team as that came together? I mean, has that give them a little bit more motivation that, hey, we have the possibility to play possibly an entire season now instead of just, maybe 4 games at that time?
It did. And we went through camp, and there for a while we had 0 non-conference games, and we had pads on. I pulled the pads off our players. I said, we're not going to take you out there and have a chance to get you injured or until we find out what the schedule is going to be. And I think our players appreciated that. And then once we got a schedule, our play on the field picked up, and they know what they have to do to be successful. And we talk about all the time, you're only as good as your weakest player. And they know we have to prepare like crazy for Charlotte. That's the only thing on our mind right now is Charlotte.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, next we'll go to Chris from WRAL.
Hey, Coach, I'm Chris Lee from WRAL. I had the same question as the last two, but I'll ask about Campbell specifically. With their situation and the Big South basically saying no football for this fall, but you can find non-conference opponents to play. How big was it for your team and for them just to help them out to get them another game so they can play this fall? And I don't know if you have a relationship with Mike Minter, but I wanted to ask about that as well.
I know Mike through recruiting. I don't know him personally, but I've been in the 1AA level, the FCS level, and these games were important. And we had a chance to. I had a chance to watch a little bit of tape on those guys when it first came out, and that's not going to be an easy game either. I promise you. In college football now, if you don't prepare like you're playing for a national championship every single week, then you're going to get beat. And it's no different than us going to Michigan back and beating Michigan at Michigan. They're coming here to shock the world. And so, again, it's an in-state game, and we're just happy to have them here.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do we have any last question before we depart? Go ahead, Ethan.
You made it easy on me, Ethan.
I'm back. I just want to ask you about the NCAA's ruling on the eligibility for fall athletes. And I know that one of the conversations that you and a lot of the other coaching staff had with us in the spring was talking about building depth. And I guess, I don't know if you've had time to kind of consider how that can help kind of going forward and taking some of the pressure off those young guys that need to get a lot of time now for next season. But you know, what's kind of been your perception of that decision and how it might play in going forward?
I've met with Doug a few times. Again, I'm still trying to read through the rules and the regulations of this and that. Again, I think it's a good rule. Again, I wish all my players would come back, but I know that probably won't happen. We'll have to do a great job recruiting those guys because we have some guys that have a chance to play at the next level. But that has not changed our approach as far as getting young guys ready to play. We know what Zach Thomas and Thomas Hagan can do. They show it year in and year out. And sending on defense, we know what Shawn Jolly and Shamar and DeMarco and Demetrius Taylor, we know what they can do. So it's been a concerted effort all camp to make sure we get young guys reps because you'll see some new faces out there this year. And we're going to play them early. And we're going to play the best we have. Doesn't matter if you're a true freshman or a fifth-year senior. We're playing to win, and we're not holding anything back.
All right, we'll let Eddie Hughes ask one more question.
Hey, Coach, with everything that's been going on and knowing that we're getting so close to the game against UNC Charlotte, have you noticed the excitement level with yourself, with the team, getting even more excited as you get closer and knowing that it's right around the corner, that the season is almost here?
Oh, without question. And I consider Will a great friend of mine in the coaching, and I actually talked to him this morning. And we had some conversations about our game, and he was trying to give me that rookie head coach stuff, and I wouldn't buy it. And but again, this time of year, there's no better time in the year than football season. And whenever you have a chance to open up at home, and we don't know about fans, we don't know this, but man, we're going to put 11 out there. They're going to put 11 out there, and we have a backyard brawl, and only time you can't get arrested for fighting. So we're excited about it. And again, I have a tremendous amount of respect for their program and where they're going. And again, I hope this is a year in and year out we can do, because again, for the state of North Carolina and for the fans in the Charlotte, Mecklenburg area, and for the fans in Boone, I think it's great for college football. I said this many a times. We played down there 2 years ago, the largest crowd ever in the history of their school. And they come to Boone last year, we sell it out. And that's no knock on any of the school in our conference or their conference, but it's just a great time for college football where you can have a sellout stadium. Our players talk about it all the time. We play Charlotte here of what the environment was like and the crowd and their fans, and who wouldn't want to play in front of that?